Namaste, Bhavna. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, uh, can you share your journey about growing up in Dubai and what really led you to start this journey in health and wellness?
So I've grown up in Dubai. I've studied here. I did my college here, and I was working in the financial sector actually. And just prior to COVID, I was studying my health coaching certification because I wanted to switch gears and move into a field where I could really work with other people. And so I did my health coaching. I did my yoga certification. And thanks to COVID, it gave me a fantastic opportunity to step back and really reflect on my life as to where I want to be. And I decided and I chose to be in a space where I could work with other people and really make a difference to people's life. Also, a bit background about my own struggles with health, specifically with hyperacidity growing up.
So, on this note, I would like to really ask you: is it to do anything to do with the Dubai living? Is it that you grew up in Dubai, which is very different to what other kids are growing up in other countries? Is that what led you to kind of discover about health?
Yeah, Dubai is it's very fast paced. Also, it's very there's a lot happening. There's a lot of different mix of cultures, so you get to learn a lot for sure. You get to eat different cuisines. You get to learn about different cuisines, but at the same time, because life was so fast paced, I guess I didn't really take care of my own health growing up. And at the age of 2021, I got hyperacidity, which at that point of time I didn't know was food and lifestyle could correct it. But obviously you're young, you're too busy working, running the rat race, trying to get the next increment or the next position after another. So yes, health did take a back seat, and here we are trying to make sure that other people are not doing the same mistake.
Bhavna, so I'm very curious to understand. So living in Dubai comes with its own set of advantages as well as challenges, right? So, what are those three environmental things which really? So, I really want to speak a little bit more about the kids here. So, what are those three environmental things that really affect children's health growing up in Dubai compared to the children growing up in other countries?
So I think the three main things that affect the kids' health or even our health here. One is the sedentary lifestyle, right? We drop the kids to school in a car, we pick them up. It's not like they're walking to school or taking the bus or the metro like other countries. Second is the easy access to processed food. I mean, there are at least 6 supermarkets around where I live.
Yeah.
Processed food is pretty easily available. And the third is access to ordering in food. All these simple apps that my 6 7 year old now can use, from Talabat to Deliveroo to Zomato, all of them, with one click of a button, they can order food from outside. All of this was not available to us when growing up, and maybe not even in many other parts of the world.
Yeah, I completely agree and relate with you because even my kids have grown up here. And when we were growing up, we had no clue about any of these things. And now it seems like everything is just at the tip of your finger. So, yeah, I think the three challenges you summarized pretty straightforward. Especially the supermarket part is so real. Like every nook and corner has a supermarket, and kids tend to just enter any supermarket and pick up anything they want. And I think also the financial freedom they feel at a very early age
Yeah.
also has a role to play perhaps. What are some unique aspects of Dubai's lifestyle that has influenced your approach to health coaching?
One, I think the whole infrastructure that Dubai provides us really supports health. Whether it's the walking track in the community, the access to gyms, cycling tracks, the Dubai Fitness 3030 that comes, bringing the entire city and the country together for fitness. So for me, after I had battled my health issues and after I had, completed or I was done with working in the corporate field, it just pulled me and attracted me towards the health and wellness world. Even when I was working, I would make sure I'm attending my yoga classes, I'm practicing my pranayama. So for me, this was a very natural and easy transition. I mean, I had learned very early on in life that health is pretty important and to take care of myself.
That's how Dubai has moved towards giving a lot of importance to health is another factor wherein
Fitness,
you
yes,
really got attracted to the whole fitness factor. And I think naturally it has come to you
absolutely.
that health is something very important and that you really want to pay attention to it. So that makes it very organic and very natural, right? For any nutritionist. That's it's very important that it should come from within, where you
Absolutely,
really want to
yes.
fix yourself and you want to fix others. So I think that is something which comes about. Today I really want to talk a lot about kids health and even I'm a parent who has brought up her kids in Dubai, and you're also one of them.
Yeah.
I know that you're a mom of two kids, right? So,
Yes.
as a mom, how do you prioritize your health and nutrition for your kids? Like, how do you really balance between your nutrition as well as kids' nutrition, and how do you manage to do that?
So one thing we do is we make sure that whatever is made at home is not different food for me and different food for them. We all eat the same thing, whether it's breakfast or lunch or dinner. 90% of the food that we eat is the same. Yeah, there will be a 10% here or there because obviously I want to eat my karela or my loki and my kaddu, which I understand if they're not into yet. I mean, I got into it much later as well. But overall, my kids understand very clearly the difference between eating healthy and eating junk. I mean, my daughter is only 6 year old, and even from the age of 4, she knew that this is junk food. They really understand that very well.
Most of the kids do understand it's junk, but as a mother, how did you really manage to instill this habit that whatever is cooked at home is going to be eaten by all of us, and it's not going to be any different? So did you have any kind of specific struggles that you had to really keep repeating? So did you face any issues convincing your children?
Yeah, so there's always, I think when they are younger, it's simpler, right? Because when they are younger, it's like children see, children do. They see me eat dal, they're eating dal. As they grow older and they go to school and they see their peers eating, I mean, my son now wants to not take Indian food in his tiffin box. And I understand he's in a school which has multinational students and he doesn't want to take a paratha in his tiffin, he would rather take pasta. So obviously every year and every age comes with its struggle. With him, what I've done is we've tried and made him understand that we have to eat a bit of this and a bit of that. And now we've come to a point of time where there are two tiffins that he takes to school, and one is going to be Indian, trying to explain to him how healthy Indian food is. And of course, giving him certain signs because he's 11, so he's not taking just what I'm saying. So protein helps you grow stronger, protein helps you grow taller. He's a football player, he's a runner, he's an athlete. So trying to explain to him how dal has very good protein that will help him grow. The A2 paneer that we get from you, I mean, it's amazing. He really loves it, and he understands that it's going to make him grow taller, stronger, muscular. So he's actually okay with eating all of these things because he understands how it's benefiting him.
Right.
And then he also gets his pasta or his burger and stuff in his tiffin. So it's
Yeah, I think that's a good balance to have, right? So I think life is generally about balance, and I think kind of handling the children nutrition, peer pressure, and ensuring that they are rooted to their roots, they're still grounded to their roots, and still giving the international exposure that really comes in this place. I guess that's a kind of a challenge for many parents here. So I think explaining them and talking to them is the only way out. So yeah, so that brings me to our next question. So our kids have access to abundance of tempting treats, right? From chocolates to bars to the juices which are available in the supermarket where they can just go inside and grab it. It seems like kids are constantly craving for all these things. So I mean, how can parents deal with this, especially when treats are all around them? Like you rightly highlighted that we have like 6 supermarkets in one block. So how do parents really handle this cravings of children?
When it comes to my kids, I really like they really understand real food. My kids have been to the Avir fruit and vegetable market. They've been to the Dera waterfront fruit and vegetable market. They know where we buy fresh fruits and vegetables. We all eat fruits and vegetables, and there's a really interesting. I've gamified this for them, right? So there's a very interesting game we have at home. Every day they have to count for me 5 fruits or vegetables that they've eaten. So, it could be cucumbers or carrots or tomatoes, a banana for breakfast, apple before they leave for school. Once they've had the 5, only then they can get any sort of treat, sort of a thing. So even on a Saturday or a Sunday, my son actually cooks his own breakfast and he makes sure he will take everything. So he'll take spinach, mushroom, onion, tomato, put it in his eggs, make a nice big omelette and say, Mama, I've got my 4 vegetables here and I'm going to eat 1 fruit before we go out. So Sunday dinner, what's for dessert?
Okay.
So,
So
that's
gamifying is one of the ways.
I think the gaming part is really helping, and both of them are then competing with each other. That, oh, my 4 is done and my 3 is done and my 5 is done, and they're happily actually eating it. The other thing that I do is before they go to school, because obviously we leave very early in the morning at 7, they don't want to eat a proper breakfast. I start with the day with fruit first. So whatever fruit they want, we go on the weekend or to the supermarket or to the vegetable market. We pick our own fruits, what we want to eat, whatever they want to eat, and that's what they will eat before they leave for school. So those two things, I think, it's not a struggle. Making my kids eat fruits and vegetables is not a struggle anymore. It's a game, and we're all competing. I'm doing a count for them as well. Like I ate this,
so I think gamifying is one. Sorry, I'm just going to go off record a little bit. We also supply fruits and vegetables.
Oh, okay.
The best part is now I've just boiled on a vendor who's supplying organic certified fruits coming from different countries.
Okay.
And he's just giving it for like really good price.
So
just
include kar dena.
I just included. No, but I think we can get back into the thing. So I think the first technique which I could tell is that gamify the food eating habits where they are rewarded for achieving the results whatever is there in the game. So I think that is one way. Second is educating them constantly, talking to them. So is there any one more practical tip you can give parents to handle these cravings of children? Can you give me one more?
I think for me, it's about role modeling it. So I can't be eating French fries and asking them to be eating carrot sticks.
Right.
My kids know really well that how against I am French fries, or generally junk food as such. So even when they want to eat it, they know that, they have to eat their fruits and vegetables, and they know that my parents are into fitness. They see me going to the gym, they see me working out, they see me eat healthy, clean food. We are, at the end of the day, they're role models.
True.
So they really tend to replicate. Yes, there will be peer pressure, but they're seeing us a lot more. And they just tend to replicate what we're doing.
So I think it's gamify it, keep educating them about what healthy food can do to you. And third, of course, is practice what you preach. So that we have this practical problem, right? So many parents come to you saying that, hey, listen, I have the problem, and then the kids are also growing up like that, right? How do you really educate a parent that, listen, you need to mirror what you want your children to learn? How do you convince them? Is there any convincing point which can actually make them feel I need to do this for my children? So
I think most parents, yes, although they enjoy, eating treats here and there, most parents with today's day and age are pretty much into health and fitness. I have a lot of clients, and when I work with clients, they don't just come to me for their own self. We actually do family menus. So the menu that I develop for a man or a woman is what will be made for the entire house. Or we do a family menu planning where the parents and the kids actually eat the same thing. And that's pretty normal nowadays.
Okay. So I think you're just saying that there's more awareness around this.
There's a lot more awareness. Parents are eating healthier. Yes, they're eating their they're eating outside as well, because Dubai means going out a lot. But there's so many more parents now that I see that are way more conscious than they were back in our days.
That's a good news for us, really. So because the moment you know that health is wealth, then your habits just change.
I'm sure you have a lot of parents like me buying fruits, vegetables, millets, all your stuff from you. I'm sure you have a lot of parents like us.
Yes, absolutely. So that I think that itself speaks that yes, there is a good mind shift happening right now, wherein people are choosing the right products for their lifestyle. There's another very important question I really want to ask is about the birthday parties trend in Dubai, right? I know when my children were 4th grade, 5th grade, there used to be birthday party every 15 days or a month, or sometimes 3 times in a month. So how do you really manage this cravings that kids get from the chocolates and the cookies and the cakes that they get to enjoy in the birthday parties? Like, how do you think we can manage this craving?
As a new mom, when I had my son, I used to be scared of going to these birthday parties, because not only do you have the cake, there used to be an entire cake table filled with sugary treats, and it's still there. And it's very interesting, I'll tell you, when my son was 1, 2, 3 years old, we would feed him in the car before going to a birthday party. We would play at the birthday party. The moment the cake used to be cut, because by then he didn't know, The moment the cake cutting would finish, because I don't even want to eat all those pizza and fries, we would
Of course.
exit the birthday party.
Oh.
And I did that for till he turned 4.
Oh.
And then he entered school, and he understood how the real birthday parties happen. And obviously he wanted to stay back for the food and the cake and to hang out with his friends. But till date, I make sure before I go to a birthday party, my kids will eat something from home and then go. So the appetite is kind of reduced. That's my hack.
Okay.
And the second thing is, yes, again, I've sort of negotiated with them. There will be 5 things at the birthday party. You pick one junk. So either you pick your juice, or you pick your cake, or you pick whatever. Again, my son is older. There is, the whole peer pressure thing. He will probably have more. But I don't get very worked up, because I know back at home, I've laid a solid foundation. They're eating healthy. Even in terms of when they crave treats at home, your ragi cookies. They're a regular thing in my house. I use the ragi flour, the sprouted ragi flour. I make pancakes out of it, and because it's so brown, in their head, it's like chocolate pancake.
Absolutely.
So we do a lot of that at home. But of course, once you go out, you have to go a bit easy, and you lay certain foundations. With my daughter, it's very clear. There are so many birthday parties, she doesn't even eat cake. She doesn't like cake. So she'll either pick between a juice or a cake, but she'll not have like a lot. And she's small, so her appetite is very small. When we eat from home and we go, literally a slice of pizza is all she's eaten, a small slice.
Right.
So that's my hack to make sure that they're pretty like decently full, that they're not overeating at the birthday party or not eating everything that is there given to them.
What are the 3 practical tips you can give parents for hosting a healthy yet a very yummy birthday party?
So I still remember on my son's first birthday, we did a fruit cake. Then one time we had done a ragi cake, and I still make ragi cupcakes at home. And they taste, and you add just cocoa powder to ragi, it tastes very chocolatey. Like most kids won't even sort of realize.
Even dates, right? Like dates give a very natural sweetness.
Very natural.
The caramelly sweetness.
Yeah, it's got that caramel taste. So I think if we can just avoid so much of processed sugar, right? We can limit those treats. We can try and replace them, or at least have some healthy treats, right? Your ragi cookies, a cake that is made of ragi. Replace your processed sugar with some natural sort of sweetness. A birthday can be very, not so sugary and processed.
Yeah. So what are the 3 practical tips you can give for parents hosting birthday parties here, which will help them manage the cravings for parents' kids?
So I think we do have access to a lot of healthier, cleaner options when it comes to cakes or cupcakes. Ragi cookies is one of them. Using natural forms of sweeteners rather than the white sugar processed one. Parents can get healthier cakes or cupcakes made. And even in terms of food, does it always have to be the pizza and the French fries? Can we get something that's a bit more healthier, a bit more cleaner on the menu for the kids to choose from? Definitely.
Like you said, the fruit sticks.
The fruit sticks is
one of the very easier options, and I think
easier options. Oat cookies, ragi cookies,
yeah,
cakes. I remember on my son's first and second birthday, we had a cake that was an entire fruit. So we did this football made out of a watermelon. So there are many healthy options. If you go out and look for them, there's tons of options.
Right. Okay. And even in terms of the snacking, so it doesn't have to be always the store-bought snacks. I think there are much more healthier options available right now, only if people are on a lookout.
Absolutely. I mean, we make so many healthy snacks for kids at home, from the makhanas to just simple, my kids like the date balls kind of thing, because they find it very, again, chocolatey. We add some cocoa powder to it. So there are a lot of healthy options that we can actually make at home and just keep it there for them to choose from.
So I'm going to be a little biased here. So I have a whole range of rusks and cookies and even the sticks, the baked cookies and baked snacks that we have here, which I personally feel makes a perfect fit for the birthday parties. So yeah, I think that's a very practical way to adopt.
We can keep a lot of such options.
Yeah, in the birthday parties. Yeah. As a parent, how do you think one can take care of children's gut health? And what do you think are the early signs for parents to say that their gut health needs attention?
So, in order to take care of their gut health, definitely, feed them with a lot more home cooked food. Staples, right? Your rice, your dal, chapati, vegetables, fruits. These are something simple, easily available stuff at home that so kids should be eating more of that and less of the outside food.
Hmm.
That's obviously the first thing. Some warning signs would be, kids are putting on weight, which is a very common thing. Children's obesity is a huge issue right now.
Hmm.
If you are seeing your child is putting on weight, it's
Hmm.
obviously time to look into that. Discomfort, overall, they have a lot of, stomach ache, bloating, they're not pooping every day.
Hmm.
Constipation is a big issue with kids. When it comes to, girls, a lot of girls are getting their menstrual periods much earlier than we got them.
Hmm.
That's another thing. And that very often, kids that are overweight will get their periods early. There's a correlation on that as
Hmm.
well. Skin issues,
Hmm.
immunity is a big one. I mean, I see children here falling sick a lot.
Hmm.
And that's a simple thing. If your gut is not working properly,
Hmm.
immunity is going to be a big issue. Energy levels,
Hmm.
they're tired, not really energetic enough for school activities, after school activities. So there are a lot of alarming signs, and a
Hmm.
parent can really pick up on any of them.
These
If you
signs.
see anything not going how it's supposed to be,
Hmm.
definitely their gut health needs to be worked on.
Thing in Dubai is the early morning start that both kids and parents have. So it's a very rushed morning for parents. So how do you think, what are the practical tips that you can give for parents and kids to manage these rushed mornings?
So for us, what we do personally is, because I drop my kids to school, one, we eat a fruit at home before we leave, and that's the ideal, whether it's me or them. We start our day with overnight soaked almonds, walnuts, then we have a fruit. And for whatever reason, if we are running late, because we have the luxury where we are dropping the kids to school, I carry their fruit. I carry my fruit in the
Mm-hmm.
car. When it's summer, we're carrying coconut water in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of healthy stuff that we can actually already feed the child before the child gets to school.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many options, right? I mean, you've got a whole supermarket of healthy options that we can have before we leave for school. Any of the stuff we mentioned before, right? एक रागी cookie खा लिया,
Mm-hmm.
something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that at least has fueled them for that morning and that
Mm-hmm.
started their morning on a right foot. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big one when it comes to having nuts and fruits in the morning.
Nuts and fruits in the morning. So that's like a
That's
good
my
fat
go-to.
and
Yeah,
good
that's my
sugar.
go-to.
Okay. And for the mid morning, how do you think we can manage the mid morning snack cravings for the children?
So in terms of mid-morning, most of the kids are at school.
Mm-hmm.
We always pack two tiffins for them. Like I said, one is Indian, one is international.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's khapli wheat paratha,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's, like I said, millet pancakes,
Mm-hmm.
there's pasta that we do, there's millet noodles that my kids love.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are good snacks. It either fits in the snack box or the lunch box.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So that's the another
these are
way,
my,
the
yeah, go-to
go-to
options.
option. Having a good balance between the Indian and the international spread throughout the day and keeping it light in the morning is one of the best ways. Everybody talks about healthy relationship, right? But what do you think is an unhealthy relationship with food? For example, it's very hard to convince kids to eat healthy, which we parents know is healthy. How do you really handle this uh, issue?
So first of all, I think we need to raise kids that don't get scared of eating a broccoli or a spinach.
Mm-hmm.
That's what an unhealthy relationship with food is. In my case, for example, when my kids were growing up, I literally, for me, I taught them that broccoli is a lollipop, and we would literally eat a broccoli as if it was a lollipop. So from the very early ages, they actually love their broccoli, which I see not happening with a lot of children.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the ways in which I make sure that, whether it's my kids or my clients' kids, for them, healthy food is daily food. It's not something out of my palate. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a spinach or a mushroom or a broccoli, it is happening in my house, in my meals on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's normal, just like dal is, just like rice is. Instead of it coming as a special appearance, it's a
Mm-hmm.
regular member of our dining table. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why my kids understand very clearly that this is just normal food. It's not healthy. This is what food is supposed to be.
So normalizing healthy food on the family table is the
Absolutely.
first step
Is the first step.
to actually teaching them that this is normal. How do you tackle, especially when it comes to restrictions? There are some couple of food restrictions we have to put on our children, not like no overeating or eat on time. How do you think practically this can be addressed by a parent?
So I think kids these days are very smart. They have access to so much information. They've got now chat gpt. um, if we can explain to kids from a very practical and logical perspective,
Mhm.
like I told you, my son eats his vegetables because he thinks it makes him taller, stronger for his football and sports.
Mhm.
If we can connect with the child,
Hmm.
what is it that's important to the child, and
Yeah.
how we can explain to them that food is going to serve that benefit.
Hmm.
I think kids are very smart these days to adapt those habits.
Hmm. I think making them feel what are the benefits, practical benefits, is the way forward. What
Absolutely.
will convince them to make a healthier choice? What is that one practical tip you can give parents of that one lifestyle change they can do to adopt a very healthy, what can I say, to build a healthy family for themselves? That one lifestyle change.
I think the biggest lifestyle change they can do is healthy eating should become a norm in the family. So whether
Budget.
it's budgeting for healthy foods, fruits, vegetables, health should be a part of our day-to-day life. Whether it's the parents working out and the kids seeing, whether it's the parents grocery shopping, whether it's the parents budgeting for a good healthy meal on the table,
Mhm.
all of this should become a day-to-day practice that kids can see
Mhm.
and then take it into their own lives.
Hmm. I think that's a very, very practical and very easy tip to follow. I think you specialize in gut health. This is what I know, right? So, how does gut health impact? It's is gut health only about digestion, or has it to do with any other part of your day-to-day activity? How does the gut health
So, fun
work?
fact, 90% of serotonin, our happiness hormone, is processed in our gut. If our gut is not working well, it shows up, of course, in digestion, in our skin, acne, hair fall, immunity, energy levels. You'll feel very tired all the time if your gut is not working properly.
Hmm.
So, our gut is really now being called as our second brain. That's how important it is. It is impacting everything that's happening within our body. Even if you're eating very good, nutritious meals and your gut is not functioning properly, the gut will not be able to absorb the nutrients from those meals and take it to the various parts of your body.
Hmm.
So it really is today our second brain.
What are those misconceptions when it comes to tackling gut health, which you must have come across in your coaching sessions with your patients?
That's exactly what I said. Most people think gut health is just about digestion, whereas in fact, it's a lot more. When people see issues with acne, hair fall, immunity issues, energy levels, overall inflammation, remember it's all coming from the gut. And a lot more worse conditions, right? Autoimmune conditions, which is a big one these days. Now people are understanding that autoimmune condition is an aggravated gut that's not been working well for a long time.
Okay.
All your inflammatory substances are then falling into your bloodstream and showing up as autoimmune conditions, from
Mhm.
cirrhosis to a whole lot of other
So
diseases.
can you just break down this autoimmune a little more? This what exactly? Give me an example of what an autoimmune disease is.
So an autoimmune condition is, for example, cirrhosis,
Mm-hmm.
wherein your skin is inflamed,
Mm-hmm.
and that stems from a poor gut health which has operated over a long period of time.
Okay.
So instead of all the toxins from your body going out,
Mm-hmm.
being excreted, now these toxins are flowing in your bloodstream, and if the skin starts showing that effect.
Okay, it's like the body is rebelling against what is
All the
inside, and that
toxicity
kind
that
of
the gut
shows up.
hasn't processed in a while
Okay, so that is what autoimmune is. So the autoimmune condition can be for various
for
conditions.
various conditions.
Okay, and I think, do you think fixing the gut health can really help these conditions reverse naturally?
Fixing the gut can actually help a lot of conditions, even inflammation, which is a big thing these days.
Mm-hmm.
Once people start working on their gut, a lot of issues start
Mm-hmm.
resolving in itself. I mean, I've been working with clients where apart, their weight wasn't moving. Again,
Mm-hmm.
inflammation. You work on your gut, weight loss happens.
Mm-hmm.
Worked on their gut, hair got better, skin got better,
Mm-hmm.
energy levels improved big time,
Mm-hmm.
immunity got better. So a lot of factors start getting better when you work on your gut.
Which are the most, what can I say, friendly food for feeding the gut, as per you?
I think thankfully our Indian kitchen is filled with a whole lot of gut friendly food. Your website is filled with a whole lot of gut friendly food.
Absolutely.
So millet flours, sprouted ragi flour, probiotics, the yogurt, the kefir, um, there's vegetables, there's prebiotics. So everything that is fresh, clean, not processed is good for the gut, as simple as that.
So, if I have to summarize it, a good, wholesome, home cooked meal is a gut friendly food,
Is gut friendly food.
right? And I think that takes care of the prebiotics, the probiotics, and everything.
Everything.
Basically, get your proportions right in your meals, and I think that itself will become a gut friendly.
Become gut friendly. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
Bhavna, I think you have educated us well about the gut health, the kids' gut health, and the practical tips on how parents can help their children develop a healthy relationship with the food. Thanks a lot. I think you've given a lot of practical tips about how to handle the gut health, the kids' gut health, developing a healthy relationship with food for children, and how to really create that environment for the gut to thrive better. So I think that's a lot. So coming to Roots Organics, which are your top 3 to 5 picks of the products which you think help the gut?
For me, A2 ghee is the big one. It's super popular in my house. Millet flours. I love the ragi cookies. A2 paneer is something that we love as well, and the sprouted ragi flour.
Mhm.
That's those will definitely be my top favorite
So
ones.
I think tell me about the sprouted. Like, how do you think sprouted food is good for the gut?
Yes, absolutely. So the way the sprouted food is made, first we soak the lentil, and when you soak anything, the citric acid that that gets thrown out. Then you sprout the food, which actually adds prana to the food, right? And it becomes easily digestible. You can absorb the nutrients much better into the gut, and it's overall healthier for us. So definitely, sprouted food is healthier compared to the normal one.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bhavna. I think that was very informative, and we have got really practical tips about how to handle gut health, the kids' gut health, and how to really develop a very healthy relationship with food. So, if there's just one last piece of advice, if you want to leave our audience with, what would that be?
I think my tip would be for all of us to start looking at our Indian kitchen for our nutrients. Moringa is so much more rich in iron than kale. Instead of going to quinoa or protein powders, we should be looking at sattu, which is an easily digestible and available source of protein. The world is now moving to gluten free, but we've always had our seasonal flours, the jawar, the bajra, they've always been gluten free. Ragi is actually a fantastic source of calcium compared to the processed milk that we get in the markets. So I think my biggest takeaway or tip would be for our audience to start moving back to our Indian kitchens and incorporating all of these rich foods that are so nutritious into our diet and even our children's diet.
Oh, that's a whole lot of options which are easily available. And we are glad that all of these products, which Bhavna just spoke about, are available at Roots Organics. So I think we are consistently working towards bringing products which will help you and your family build a heavy, healthy, long lasting gut health. And I think with the practical tips which Bhavna has given today, I think it's only going to get easier and easier for us to adopt a healthy lifestyle in a very, very budget friendly way. So thank you, Bhavna. Thank you so much for coming. It was
Thank
really a
you.
pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.